is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Ohio.
Texas brought out the heavy lumber early against the Tribe on Memorial Day and never looked back. The Rangers offense features a nice blend of youth and veteran leadership and has them sitting on top in the AL West. Corey Kluber gets the task of slowing them down, and he may have the perfect remedy after back-to-back solid starts on the road. We're going all out next on Sports Time Ohio. It's a baseball night in Ohio as the Cleveland Indians welcome in the Texas Rangers. It's game 2 of their 3-game series tonight. We bid adieu to the month of May, and hopefully the Indians can even things up at a game apiece with Texas here tonight. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Things did not go well for Josh Tomlin last night, who came into the game undefeated on the year, but the Texas bats got him. In particular, Nomar Mazara, who has already hit the longest home run according to StatCast in Major League Baseball this year at 491 feet.
What a great-looking young player this young man is. He's 21 years old, and he made the team because Shin-Soo Choo got hurt, and he smoked the ball last night to about as far as I've seen in center field in this ballpark. It was a 3-run home run. He has homered in 5 of his last 11 games. He's hitting .326, and the team record since he's been up here is 8-3. He's a good-looking young prospect, and he's a guy that could catch up to the fastball.
Well, hopefully Corey Kluber can slow things down, because Kluber, when he goes 7 innings, he's practically unbeatable. In 6 of his 10 starts, he's done that. And in those 6 starts, his ERA is 1.76.
Well, in his last 2 starts against the Sox teams, Boston and Chicago, he's had a tremendous slider. He's pitched inside. He's worked over 7 innings in both starts. But the one common thread right there, the Indians have gotten him 4 runs. The Indians are 34-0 when they can get Kluber 4 runs a start. See if they can do that again tonight. He'll be matched up against Colby Lewis, who is undefeated this year. He's pitched 6 innings in every start except his last start, but he still got the win in that start because his offense bailed him out.
This is a Texas Rangers club that sits in first place in the American League's Western Division. When we come back, Andre Knott will give us an idea of why the Rangers club is working together so well. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by WB Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by your local Toyota dealers, visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. Boy, another beautiful evening here at the ballpark as the Indians and Rangers are just about ready to square off this evening. I think, you know, if you look at any team worth its salt, especially a team that's built to compete for the long haul, it can't be just young players. It can't be just veteran players. There has to be a good mix. And that appears to be what the Texas Rangers have in their dugout right now. With more on that, here's Andre Knott.
And talking to Terry Francona, that's the first thing that stands out about the Texas Rangers. Because you know the names that they have. You know the Adrian Beltres. You know the Elvis Andrews. You know those guys. He goes, but the thing that stands out about this team, in his mind, is the youth that they're mixing in. Yesterday, we all saw the home run from Nomar Mazara, and the home run that's still probably going. He says they're athletic now. They're fast now. They're a fun team to watch. He hopes they're going to get too fun this series, but he says it's a series that he's looking forward to with his team competing against because he likes how they're built, that they have enough veteran players. They really get the young kids ready. He saw last night was a perfect example of how the veterans get them going, then the young guys finish off things for the Texas Rangers. Something to look forward to early in this game. The Indians have given up 29 first-inning runs. It's the most in any inning, guys, that they've given up. They've been outscored this homestand 8-4 in the first inning. They can get through the first inning, the chances of them winning goes up way high real quick.
Yeah, it's been a tough homestand as far as the first inning runs go. But getting back to that Texas team, you know, I go back 30 to 40 years. They've always had guys that can come up and hit, whether they're young kids coming up through the farm system, and it seems like they continue to do it.
Now they have the pitching to go with it, which is why they're in the playoffs a year ago and why they're in first place right now and have a really good chance of repeating as Western Division champions this year because they've got a nice mix. Again, as we pointed out last night, not a perfect team. They've had some bullpen issues already, and it's still probably something they're going to have to work through the rest of the year.
Yeah.
But when you've got a rock-solid offense like they appear to have, you might be able to out-hit some of your deficiencies. Indians take the field behind Corey Kluber. Big man on the hill. We'll get his numbers in a moment. First, let's take a look at the lineup that he will face for Jeff Bannister and the Texas Rangers. There's the leadoff man, Jurickson Profar. He'll be followed by Ian Desmond, who had a big night early for Texas in the series opener. Prince Fielder hitting third, then it's Adrian Beltre, Nomar Mazara, and Mitch Moreland. Elvis Andrus, Jared Hoying, and Brian Holiday rounded up.
And tonight's in Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher. It'll be Corey Kluber for the Indians. His 11th start this year. 30-year-old right-hander trying to make it 3 in a row. That'll be the first time he's been able to win 3 in a row. So you got to go back to the September 6th through the 26th in his 2014 Cy Young campaign. So let's hope he can keep that rolling and pitch as well as he's done in his last 2 starts. Corey in his career 1-0 in 2 starts against the Rangers. So let's get it started back at home. He hasn't pitched well in his home park this year, but now is a good time to start. Let's set the defense behind Kluber tonight. It is brought to you by Jeep, and it looks like this. Bird is in left, Davis in center, Chisenhall in right. It'll be Ramirez at third, Lindor at short, Kipnis is at second, Napoli at first, and Gomes is doing the catching.
The umpires tonight, Gabe Morales at first, Trip Gibson, Hunter Wendelstadt, Manny Gonzalez. I don't think Terry Francona will be strolling down to third base to talk to Manny Gonzalez anytime soon. He still hasn't heard an explanation.
And he won't, because, you know,
guess they don't have to give
they're
him
not held accountable.
Ready to go as Jurickson Profar stands in. The switch hitter, second baseman. He's filling in for Rougned Odor, who is on the suspension list. And Texas is playing a man short.
Filling in quite nicely because he has singled in his in the last 3 games, leading off the ball game for the Rangers. He did last night where he just dunked one into left field and hit a very good pitch and got him going.
Corey Kluber up high with that one, 1-1. Profar with a bouncing ball to second base. Jason Kipnis has it. He'll throw to Mike Napoli, 1 away. Keys to the game are brought to you by Wayside Furniture. For Corey Kluber, locate early. Josh Tomlin had a little trouble with the location, and it hurt him early in the game last night. And let's see if the Indians can create some traffic for Colby Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis has been pretty solid for the Rangers this point this year. Still undefeated.
Ian Desmond. He didn't sign with Texas till late February. He kind of figured after last year in Washington he was going to hit pay dirt in free agency. It just didn't materialize.
Well, here's a guy that, you know, Washington offered him about, I think, a 7-year deal for $107 million, and he turned it down and became a free agent. And then, you know, they offered him the qualifying offer of 15.7. He turned that down as well because he felt that the winter would bring him a little something more. He ended up signing an $8 million deal this year. And boy, what a finder, you know, a sale, I guess that would be for the Texas Rangers, because that's just the way free agency went.
Hey, you wonder, looking back on that, is that just a bad job by the agent to overestimate his value, or the market?
Yeah, it's
or
a little
what
both.
happened?
I think it's both, because you know what? If someone offered me $107 million for 7 years, where do I sign? And I'd have to check and make sure it wasn't invisible ink. But you know what? Think about it. I mean, if you're not happy with that, how much do you need?
The minute somebody goes to triple digits in terms of 100 million,
well, you don't even have to go that far. But I
over.
mean, think about it. I mean, it's really ridiculous. And I don't know if any of that has to do with Players Association saying you need more.
Nice running catch by Lonnie Chisenhall just inside the line. And there are 2 down. Well, he's not the first guy, and he won't certainly be the last.
No,
but
center fielder for the Cubs.
Remember a long time ago, Juan Gonzalez. Now, granted, he didn't want to play in Detroit. Didn't like the park when it opened. The fences were too. It was a two. But he never got that money back.
No, that was 140
down.
that he turned down.
Hey, more power to you. If you can turn it down, God bless you.
If you could turn it down, I say you're crazy. But then again, a lot of people think I'm crazy. And there's one raising his hand down there.
I'm not going to argue.
pit.
You'll get no argument from this corner, sir. Prince Fielder taking a strike. It's 1-1. Fielder had 1 hit in 4 trips last night. It did result in a 2-out RBI single. Pops this one straight up, though. And it's going to be Yan Gomes in foul ground. And a good first inning for Corey Kluber as the Rangers go 1-2-3. Francona tonight, presented by Progressive. Carlos Santana leading it off. Jason Kipnis batting in the 2-hole. Then it's Francisco Lindor. Those three were a combined 0 for 10 last night. Mike Napoli, Jose Ramirez, Marlon Byrd. Those were the guys that collected the hits last night. Lonnie Chisenhall, Yan Gomes, Rajay Davis rounding it out. Swinging at the first pitch and a routine bouncer to first, one away.
Well, now we have time. Northern Ohio Hyundai starting pitcher is 36-year-old Colby Lewis, who is 4-0 this year, and he's making his 11th start, so he's looking to go 5-0 for the first time in his career. He's actually pitched very well for Texas this year. His first 4 starts, he went at least 6 innings, and in his last 5, he's gone 7. Up until his last start, where he struggled, gave up 8 hits and 6 runs. But they ended up scoring 15 runs for him in that game, so he got the win in that as well. So he's off to a good start. 2-2 in his career against the Indians.
The 0-1 from Lewis to Kipnis is in the dirt.
And he's not overpowering. He's a control guy, a lot like Josh Tomlin. He'll try and keep you off the barrel of the bat, changing speeds, throwing the wrinkle in it, sneaking the fastball by you, moving it around.
Not a point.
The Indians did score, what, 8 runs? Was it in an inning off him last year here? Yeah, it was in the 3rd inning where they were able to put an 8 spot on the board. A snowman in May.
Blistered foul by Sandy Alomar. That was a 12-3 whipping on May 27th last year. He went 2 2/3, 11 hits, 10 runs in 74 pitches. That's a similar line for James Shields today. He went 2 2/3 for San Diego at Seattle, and he allowed 10 runs to the Mariners.
Ouch. And wasn't there talks about him getting traded to Chicago?
Yeah. That's roped foul. Those rumors started circulating over the weekend. How much validity there is, who knows? The first reports were out of the San Diego newspapers.
I'm sure a lot of that has to do how much money that they want to either pick
Unload?
up. Yeah. Pick up, or, depending on what they get in return. But usually the ones that are talked about never happen.
It was 16-0 that the Padres have come back to make a game of it at 16-4. 2-2 pitch, and Kipnis takes down and in, full count. So after Santana weakly bounced out on the first pitch of the game, Jason Kipnis doing his job here, working the count.
Yeah, you have to remain patient with Colby Lewis, because he's not going to give in.
And he smokes one to center field, but there to catch it is Ian Desmond, 2 down.
Let's check the defense for the Texas Rangers tonight. Hoying is in left field, Desmond in center, Mazzara over in right. It'll be Beltre at third, Andrus is short, Profar is at second, Moreland at first, Holiday behind the plate.
Francisco Lindor, he's 0 for 3 yesterday. Also drew a walk. That came on 4 pitches in the first inning after Derek Holland had struck out the first 2 batters of the game.
Well, the 2 guys that have to get going in this lineup for the Indians this homestand are Kipnis and Lindor. They're just 6 for 32 on the homestand, with 5 more after tonight.
The 2-1 pitch. Lindor lifts it high in the air to center. Desmond is under it. And the Indians go 1-2-3. We've played an inning in Cleveland, no score.
MLB.com @bat app. You can stay connected all season long with radio broadcasts, video highlights, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com @bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone and tablet.
Adrian Beltre leads off here, inning number 2 for Texas. Slow chopper foul. Beltre was 1 for 5 last night. He's hit in his last 5 games.
Make it 6.
Let's see, that's a vicious line drive to left. First hit of the night in the ball game, and the Rangers leadoff man aboard here in the second.
Yeah, this is a Texas team. You go up and down this line, and they can handle the fastball, so you better locate it. There's a fastball down. It just had maybe too much of the plate. Beltre drops the barrel head of that bat right on it for a line drive single. First hit of the game.
And now Nomar Mazara.
Boy, and he gets into that batter's box and uses most of it up at being 6'4". Watch that front foot is almost on that line.
And a strike over the outside corner.
He has it. He has it all covered. He gets in, measures, and watch that right foot even comes more to the line once he gets set for his timing. Pushes out, and then picks it back up, his leg kick, and goes right back to the pitcher. Only 21 years old, just turned 21 about a month and a half ago.
Saw a nice change of pace by Kluber.
That could
and
be
it's 1-2.
Very effective pitch for Corey tonight. That changeup to the left-handers for the Rangers.
Wow, I don't know.
Good pitch.
That looked awfully good.
Well, a lot of times he has that pitch that'll be coming back And it looks like a pretty solid pitch right there. I'll tell you what, it's still an effective pitch, even though it wasn't called a strike. If he gets any movement on that thing coming back, which he will eventually as the game goes on, there'll be strikes here soon.
Nomar Mazara comes in batting .309, which is a better batting average than he had in any of his 4 minor league seasons leading up to this year.
You know, sometimes as you go up the ladder for some players, it gets a little easier because pitchers have better control. You know, and they're just, you're not diving out of the way a lot of times. But once they find out what your holes are, they can exploit them, you know, and they can consistently hit them. But some young players, if they can hit the fastball, they can get off to a good start.
The 2-2. Oh, I mean, just shattered his bat. Napoli to second. There's one. Back to first. Not in time. Mazara beats it out.
Well, Napoli coming off the bag, and he has to throw it and just follow that throw. Just not hit hard enough to turn it. Kluber did his job. He was over there in plenty of time.
One away now for Mitch Moreland. Moreland is in a bit of a funk. Just 3 for his last 38. To left field. And Ramirez got it, or rather Bird got a great jump on that ball as he was headed over toward the line. That's out number 2. Always sharply hit. And for Bird, you know, it's not like he's always playing left. He's been in right, he's been left, back and forth, and sometimes those slicers are the hard ones to get a real good read, but he was right on that.
Well, it's fun, isn't it, when you can sit up here and as soon as the ball's hit, you see that guy either moving with it or maybe just has an idea that it's going to be hit his way and gets a good read off the bat, and it looks smooth.
Two away for Elvis Andrus. He had 3 hits last night, which was no shock to either of us. He had a 27-game hitting streak here at Progressive Field to begin his career. It was finally snapped in his last game here in Cleveland when he went 0 for 2 a year ago. But his first game this year, boom, right back
and
to form.
You know, you must mark that. He must mark Cleveland on his schedule every year when he's coming for the one time. When you're hitting .418 in a ballpark. Just highlight it and say, I can't wait to get there. And then there's other ones you'd like to X off. And there you'll see it in Progressive Field history. Kip, remember that, a 29-game hitting streak. Andrus at 27. Swisher had one.
And the 0-2 now. Runner goes and a foul off the bat. Andrus didn't really swing, but he was just gliding toward the pitcher, and the ball.
Well, you see what they're trying to do here. They're trying to just get a guy in scoring position. You don't think Mazara is going to run. You know, he has not stolen a base this year. He's been caught one time. So the 0-2, the element of surprise, and if he gets thrown out, then you still have Andrus leading off the next inning. So I believe that would be the thinking right there.
Swing and a miss, and that'll do it. Corey Kluber yields a leadoff single, but works around it. Middle of the second, no score. Bottom of the second inning, 4, 5, and 6, 2 up for the Indians. No score. Mike Napoli will lead it off. And he takes a strike from his former teammate. Chopper to third. Big bounce. Beltre throws him out, 1 away. Injury report brought to you by Elk. Texas with a trio of pitchers right now that are dealing with some injuries.
A starter and 2 bullpen guys, 2 pretty good bullpen guys for him.
Jose Ramirez 1 for 3 last night. And Ramirez with a ground ball right at the second baseman Profar. 2 down.
Well, launch your summer with our Bring the Heat weekend against the Kansas City Royals, taking place on Friday. You're going to enjoy dollar dogs, $2 Miller Lite cans, fireworks, and Subway glasses. On Saturday, 12,500 fans will get a '76 throwback jersey, and post-game fireworks will pay tribute to the late David Bowie, Glenn Fry, and Prince. Visit Indians.com for your tickets.
Marlon Byrd, with 2 down and the bases empty, had a perfect night at the plate. In the loss yesterday, he went 4 for 4 with a double and a home run. One of the weird elements to last night's game was the fact that the scoreboard said blowout, Texas 9, Cleveland 2, yet the hits were even at 11 apiece. Texas bunched a lot of theirs together early. The Indians kind of spread theirs out throughout the game, but they just couldn't dent the scoreboard except a pair of solo homers. Strikeout for Lewis of Byrd ends the inning. No score through 2. Hoing from Fort Laramie, Ohio is going to lead it off. Let's go down to Andre Knott. Boy, they came in force last night, and as Jeff Bannister, the Texas manager, said afterwards, they let their presence be known.
Yes, we talked a little bit about some of the other Ohioans that were in the game for the Texas Rangers last night, but we never got to Hoing. And if you know the name Hoing in Ohio and you know football, you know it's an interesting name. Come to find out, there were probably over 250 people here last night from Western Ohio, as Hoing is from Minster High School. Now, if you know, because you've done high school football with us, Minster High School is in the MAC, the MAAC. You want to tell everybody about how strong football is there and all the sports there?
There's a line drive and a base hit into right field as Jared Hoing leads off to third with a solid single. Well, one of the neat things that Jeff Bannister did for Hoing, when he got his first major league hit earlier this year, he gave him the ball after the ball game, and he really made a big deal of it. And you have to understand that Jeff Bannister is a guy who spent a lot of time in the minor leagues.
Yes.
He got to the big leagues with the Pittsburgh Pirates in 1991. He got one at bat. He got a hit. That was it.
How
Never
about that?
got another at bat in the big leagues. And so he understands the importance, the significance of it all. And one of the really neat things about that moment for Bannister is that ball by Holiday is crushed and gone. How do you like these Rangers? My goodness. Second game in a row, they start an inning with a base hit and then a blast, and just like that, it's 2-0 on Brian Holiday's second home run of the year. He's not one of the guys you pinpoint in this lineup to say, well, we've got to worry about Holiday.
You wouldn't think so, but let's see the pitch. It's a fastball down and inner third of that plate. He smoked that ball. It was a line drive onto the home run porch. So Texas playing from in front again today on a 2-run home run.
Top of the order, Jerickson Profar, a swing and a miss. Profar grounded out his first time up. Anyway, getting back to that story about Bannister, he got a hit in a game, and he said that Jim Leyland made such a big deal of it after the game was over. The game when Bannister got his first and only major league hit, John Wehner went 5 for 5 in that game. Gary Reedus had 4 RBIs, and Doug Drabitt picked 7 innings and got the win. But all Leyland wanted to talk about in the postgame was the significance of Jeff Bannister getting his first major league hit.
Well, and what's so ironic about it was his only chance, and he ended up getting that hit in one at bat, which is really nice. So I guess it would hold a special place in your heart. You know, if it only happened one time, he would like to do the same thing to other kids, you know, which is, I think, very cool.
Well, you never know, do you?
No,
you get that chance,
you
but
really
you don't know.
No, you don't. I mean, we saw it last night. I mean, we talked about it. You make your first big league appearance. It's something very, very special. You'll never forget. You know, when you can get a hit in there, it means something. How about Merritt last night pitching the way he did for 4 and a third innings? It was
really impressive for Ryan Merritt, and happy for him. He'll go back to Columbus. He'll continue to work hard, and he'll be back at some point to help this club.
Yeah, and he certainly has to feel good about himself.
In the meantime, Sean Armstrong called up to give the bullpen some reinforcement. And that could be a short-term situation, too. Who knows? Carlos Carrasco's due to come off the DL here in the next couple of days, so another roster move will have to be made. Drilled but foul, and way out of play down into the corner. Swung on and missed. Profar went fishing. One away. Our great clip of the game from yesterday Sean Merritt coming out of the bullpen, or Ryan Merritt coming out of the bullpen. He went 4 1/3 innings. He gave up 1 hit, and that was the first batter he faced. After that, nada. Struck out a couple, had some double play, 2 double play balls turned. One of them he started himself. So Merritt back to Columbus, and Sean Armstrong gets the call up to help the bullpen out.
Well, and today it was announced that Carrasco is going to start Thursday against Kansas City, so he'll probably head back there. Armstrong will on Thursday, or Friday, I should say. No, wait, Thursday.
You know, going back to the story that Andre was kind of starting to tell there before Brian Holiday so rudely interrupted and hit a home run. The name Hoying is sort of synonymous with a lot of Ohio State fans. Bobby Hoying was a Buckeye quarterback. Bobby Hoying went to St. Henry High School. Jared Hoying grew up not far from there in Fort Laramie, Ohio. He went to Fort Laramie High School and led them to the state championship in baseball. Then he went to Toledo, had a nice career at Toledo, and then got drafted. So he goes to Texas, and his first month in professional baseball, he broke about a half a dozen bats. And I guess he went to the coach and said, "Hey, I need some help. I don't know what's going on." But and so they worked his stance, Rick. They kind of changed his stance a little bit and got him going. Over the last 2 months, he hit almost 360 and won the MVP in the league.
Wow.
And has just steadily climbed his way through the system.
Just a little adjustment sometimes is all it can take. Coach used to tell me, if you get jammed, flip the bat around here. Hold the big, hold the thick end in your hand.
Now the 2-2. Just missed outside. I think with Hoying, I think of Nomar Mazara, that big frame. What they did was they spread him out a little because he's a good athlete. He played basketball as well as baseball. Right. But they said he wasn't hitting from an athletic position, so they just kind of tweaked a few things.
It doesn't take much. Oh yeah, good pitch.
Ian Desmond out looking for out number 2, third strikeout for Kluber.
Locked him up. Let's see what the pitch is. At that cutter, that's just a straight fastball, looks like, right on the inside edge. Looked like he was looking away and it just locked him up. So Corey, back-to-back strikeouts to get 2 in the inning.
Down and in. Our player profile brought to you by Levin Furniture. Prince Fielder was a first-round pick of the Brewers, 7th overall player taken. His dad was Cecil Fielder. Their estrangement has been well publicized over the years. But the thing about Prince Fielder is that the consistency, really, for a long period of time there. Year in, year out,
played every day.
You could just write it down, book it.
Well, up until his neck issues where he missed that whole time. And I got to tell you, man, his bat speed has really slowed down. This guy used to be one of the most feared hitters in the game. When he'd walk up to the plate, you'd be afraid to make a mistake because he could bridge in a minute.
Big chopper, and Lindor with the shift on will take care of that. The bottom of the order jumps up and bites Corey Kluber, a 2-run homer, and Texas leads it 2-0. Time brought to you by Miller Lite. Home half of the third, Lonnie Chisenhall will lead it off. And a line drive base hit in the left field for Lonnie Chisenhall. First hit of the night, first base runner for Cleveland. Last year on May 27th, there was a battering ram Indians offense that took Colby Lewis out of the ball game. 2 2/3 innings, they just clobbered him. 10 runs. That's our AT&T high-speed replay. Here is Yan Gomes, 0 for 4 last night. Foul right back. Found this to be mildly interesting. Colby Lewis has 11 games in his career with the Rangers of 10 or more strikeouts. That is tied for the 4th most in franchise history.
Wow, 10 or more?
He's got 11 games of 10 or more strikeouts.
Right.
That's tied for 4th most in franchise history in 185 career starts. Guess who's second on that list? Nolan Ryan's number 1.
Well, right.
He's done it 34 times. Guess who's second on that list?
Not Fergie Jenkins. A right-handed slider baller. Let me think.
No. Yu Darvish.
Already?
Is already second.
Wow.
He's done it 26 times in 83 career starts.
You're right.
Isn't that something?
Yes, it is. I did not think he had been there that long.
He's done it fast. Now, he wasn't your typical rookie, obviously, coming from Japan. He was already a very polished, finished product.
Yes.
But still.
All right, you said he was 4th. Who was 3rd? Do you know?
Don't remember.
Because I'm trying to go back there.
Bobby Witt.
That's who I was. The slider man, Bobby Witt.
And then Gaylord Perry and Fergie Jenkins both tied with Colby Lewis.
Okay.
Again,
that's the other 2 names I was thinking about, because facing those guys from Texas.
Right, but in your era and previously when they pitched, strikeouts were frowned upon. Guys would, you know, they with 2 strikes, they'd try to just do something to put it in play. Yan Gomes with the new sport glasses. Sends one high in the air to right field. And Mazzara will make the catch. 1 away.
Well, if Lewis continues to hold runners like he just did on that last pitch, he's got to be under a second. I mean, he didn't even pick up his front foot.
You know, the thing I've always wondered about that slide step, Rick, is does that put a little more stress on the shoulder and the elbow, because you're not really driving with your lower half as much?
It could. You don't have time to pick it up. I mean, watch. The last time he was just boom, gone. No, he picked it up that time. He didn't. See, that was a little over average, 1.5. But the pitch before that, he didn't do anything. He just left. He does a nice job controlling the running game. See that one?
Yeah, I see it now. There's a ball just foul. Rajay almost had himself extra bases as he ripped it down that left field line, just wide of the chalk.
Yeah, it had a little too much hook to it. That's too bad, because that would have been extra bases down there. And that getting rid of the ball and getting it to the catcher took under a second. Look at Rajay. He wanted it. I don't blame him.
So if you're a base runner and you're thinking about stealing Lewis, you've got to make sure he picks up that foot.
Yeah, but that's waiting too long. And that one, and there he went. That he picked the right pitch to go on. You know, basically they've thrown out 4 out of 5 attempting to steal, so he's done a pretty good job. He takes it. Yeah, he took off, and by the time he looked, it was a little too late. He heard the bat, so that tells me it was a straight steal. But that's the time you better pick, is when he picks up his front foot.
That's upstairs. And a 1-ball 2-strike count for Rajai Davis. Almost took the mask off of Holiday.
Send out happy birthday wishes to Sheila Buterbeck from Alliance, Ohio. At the ball game tonight, celebrating her birthday. Happy birthday to you.
And a broken bat liner in the left field, right off the end of the stick. And Rajai is aboard with a base hit. Indians have 2 on with 1 out as we go to the top of the order.
Well, now you feel good. You missed that line drive extra base hit down the line, but you get a single anyway. He stayed on a nice little slider down and away. That's why he broke his bat. It's actually a very good pitch, but it's a better job of hitting there by Rajai. And first and second now with 1 out. Back up to the top of the lineup. So again, now the bottom part of the lineup doing the damage here for the Indians, as did the Rangers' bottom part of the lineup.
Yeah, now Carlos Santana. Takes off the outside corner. Santana 0 for his last 8. In the 20 games that Santana has started in the leadoff position, he's batting .241.
There might have been a little change up there.
I think that was a pitch he started him off with. Threw it for a strike.
Yeah, you can't get too aggressive off a guy like this with good control, and he's an off-speed guy. A good approach would be taking him up the middle, staying on it, and just reacting to the inner part of the plate.
Well, it's 2-2. With 2 on and 1 out, and the Indians trailing by 2 here in the bottom of the 3rd. Texas doesn't have the full-on shift for Santana, but the right side of the infield playing him to pull. Andrus, the shortstop, you can see right behind second base. Just inside again, full count.
Okay, back-to-back pitches in off the plate to keep him honest. Now you go something maybe slow.
Well, I wonder if he's trying to set him up for that changeup.
He could be. Very well could be. I don't think he's going to throw him a fastball to hit, is my point. He's showing the fastball and probably attack with the off-speed pitches. There was something off-speed.
Moreland backs up, makes the play to first, 2 away. Chisenhall to third. Davis the tying run into scoring position, and it will leave it up to Jason Kipnis.
Well, a base hit can tie it up now.
The $13 district ticket presented by Sports Time Ohio is back. It includes your first drink. You got the corner, the new drink rails in left field. District tickets are available only online at Indians.com/district ticket. It's a hot item. Jason Kipnis hit the ball hard his first time up, but he lined it right to the center fielder. looking for that 2-out magical hit right here.
Yeah, something the magical 2-out hit has eluded them on the homestand. They were very good coming into it and coming off the road trip.
Yeah.
But like we said, it's the toughest hit to get, and it can disappear as quickly as it can show up. But boy, now would be a perfect time to get one here to tie the game.
I'll notice that Texas in the outfield, especially in left and in center, they try to bunch him toward the gap. They've probably seen him hit enough balls opposite way to left center field.
Well, they certainly did last May.
Yeah.
When they were playing him, and they played all 6 games in last May when Jason had 51 hits in the month. What do you have? 9 3-hit games, and yeah, had a terrific month. And the thing about Kip, he can drive the ball to left center.
.2-0 pitch, and that's in there for a strike.
It's all right. He was not looking for that pitch. You're down. You're ahead in the count, 2-0. He was looking for something different than that.
Popped him up. That's going to get him out of trouble. Hoeing over near the line makes the grab, and the Indians strand 2. After 3 innings, it's Texas 2, Cleveland nothing. And now in the 4th inning, Adrian Beltre leads off for the Rangers. And a line drive single to left his first time up. In the air to center field. Back goes Rajay Davis and makes the catch in the middle of the warning track for out number 1.
Well, enjoy fee-free access presented by Cleveland Clinic for games this weekend against the Royals. When you buy Indians tickets online today through tomorrow for games June 3rd through the 5th, you won't pay any ticketing fees. Visit Indians.com for more details. Beltre looked like to me he was sitting on that breaking ball from the very first pitch. Ouch. Not carrying to the mound.
I don't think I've seen that happen very often.
No, you won't see it very. You didn't even hear a crack.
That sounded like bees were in the barrel.
Yeah, it did. It sounded like it was. He hit it. That wood was not good. It was soaked in water for about a month.
Now you go back into the dugout after something like that.
I don't think that was.
No,
that's a foul ball. It wasn't high enough to catch the pop up. That goes as an easy out for Kluber. Oh, he'll take some abuse for that.
Mitch Moreland, a line out to left his first time up. Wow, that ball's hammered but foul. Look out, folks. Down into the corner. That guy did not catch that ball without getting off his bar stool, did he?
I couldn't see that far. I'm blocked.
See that guy in the corner? I think he got the ball, and I don't think he ever got out of his seat. Right center, it's a gapper. Davis will cut it off, though, and he'll hold Moreland to a 2-out single.
Stepping to the plate for the Rangers.
Breaking ball on the outer part of the plate that Moreland gets enough of to get it out in the right center field. So that's 4 hits now for Texas. 3 singles and the difference in the game, the 2-run homer by Holiday.
In tight as Andrus trying to get out of the way. Popped him up. Is it playable? Napoli over to the railing, and he goes into the dugout. No play.
You know, he had to take that 1 step down, and that's where his eye level shifted. He got over there in time, and then to reach it, I think he had to go down a step. And I don't think it would have been any good anyway once he put his foot in the dugout. Watch this. He gets there. Now he'll go down a little bit. There it was. Down on the step, and that's what enabled that ball to get out of his glove. Change the eye level. See that?
Saying, you know, we used to be friends. We used to be teammates. Now nobody calls.
Nobody helps. No.
Help.
You don't get help in that opposing dugout. They keep telling you got more room. You got more room, so you do fall.
That's dirty, fella. Swing and a miss by Andrus, and Gomes lost the ball, and down to second base goes Moreland, so he's in a scoring position.
That's going to be a pass ball. That ball was in his glove, but you know what? For whatever reason, it popped out. He couldn't pick it up once it came out of the glove. See, it hit the side of his glove, and he couldn't find it.
You can see him shaking his head. He's fit to be tied right now, I'm sure. There's the 1-2, and he just threw his bat at it, popping it out of play. The 1-2 is again off the end of the bat, not hit hard, but Lonnie's there, and the inning is over. No runs a hit, a man left. In the bottom of the 4th, Mike Napoli is due up second. Look out. Baseball, Clayton Kershaw, the alien. He's 7-1 with a 1.56 ERA.
Yeah, wow. How about 5 walks, 105 strikeouts? Seriously? That's unbelievable.
Lindor, Napoli, Ramirez for Cleveland here in the 4th. And Colby Lewis gets ahead with a first pitch strike. Colby Lewis began his career with the Texas Rangers. Then he developed some shoulder issues, had shoulder surgery, bounced around a little bit, Detroit, Oakland. And then he went to Japan. And Lindor just took a header coming out of the box. And he is easily thrown out one away. I don't know what happened there. I think he just either lost his footer or he just take another look.
Tripped over his bat, I think. There it was.
Oh,
got caught in between his legs. It hit the back of his heel and it stayed with him. It was following him. Look at that.
That's unreal.
3 steps where it just kept twisting until it got in between his legs and tripped him up.
Looked like somebody twirling a baton with their legs instead of their hands.
Boy, you don't see that too often.
No. But you know, for Colby Lewis, it was those 2 years in Japan that might have turned his entire career around, because it wasn't working out for him after the shoulder surgery. Stops in Detroit and Oakland, and then he went to Japan. Back-to-back years, made 26 starts, 28 starts. Then he returned to Texas, where it all began, and 32 starts in back-to-back seasons in 2010, 2011. Double-digit wins each year. Last year, a 17-game winner, the best year of his career. Lazy popped to right by Napoli, 2 away. And I'm sure if you ask Colby Lewis, he might not have had his best stuff of his career last year. His ERA was 4.66, but hey, he made 33 starts. He logged over 200 innings. He went out and gave his team a chance every 5 days, and with their offense, that was probably good enough most times out. 37 in August. At the end of last year, he had to have a little arthroscopic surgery on his right knee.
Well, he's actually pitched better on the road. He's 2-0 with a 1.73 ERA in 4 starts, compared to 2-0 with a 4.50 at home. And we know why at home. That ballpark is a pretty good offensive park.
The other thing I didn't mention is that after the shoulder surgery early in his career, and then going to Japan, and then coming back a couple years ago, he had a forearm issue that he had surgery on, flexor tendon. Had to have that fixed. And a 2-2 to left field, pulling back, and he'll make the catch. The Indians go in order, and Colby Lewis 4 shutout innings under his belt. 2-0 Texas. Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. 2-0 Texas as we go to the 5th inning on a just lovely night here at the ball yard. Jared Hoying will lead it off. He singled and scored ahead of the 2-run homer by Brian Holiday in the 3rd. Down low, ball 1.
You talk about his swing the last time and making adjustments. Watch where his hands are, and he keeps nice and loose, so you can be quick. It's, you know, just to he's relaxed up there, and just see the ball and react to it. He'll load him once that pitch is getting ready. Keeps him right around, right above the belt, and then all of a sudden he'll lift him back, stride to the pitcher.
Nice breaking ball outside corner by Corey Kluber.
Not much you can do about that pitch.
No, that's perfect. Right
yes,
on the
it
outside
is.
corner. And he struck him out with a fastball on the inside edge.
There you go. Welcome to the big leagues. That's getting pitched tough right there. He got a base hit his first time up, and Corey Kluber gave him no breathing room that time. Strikeout number 4. And we'll make this one our Circle K strikeout. Locked him up. Good fastball on the inside edge. A little comeback to him. Remember I said in that first inning he tried to get a strikeout in there, didn't get it, but it's starting to work its way back now. That little sinking fastball on the inside part of the plate to the lefties.
It's popped back out of play. In-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Only scoring of the game, 3rd inning, Brian Holiday. Just his 2nd home run of the year. And that's it. 2-0. Fastball misses high, 1-1. To center, Rajay just had to hold his ground. That's the toughest ball, I think, for a center fielder. You have to freeze, and then your heart rate picks up because you're not sure, is that going to go over my head now?
Yeah, but you know, you got to be a strong man to hit it over center fielder's head on the line. That breaking ball. So when you're unsure, you just stay there until you can pick it up. A lot of times you don't have to do much. You can tell too by the crack of the bat if it's going over your head. That one was a breaking ball. You could see he didn't have a really good swing, so he can't drive the ball over your head that way.
That's driven deep right. Chisenhall's out of room. It's out of here. Jurickson Profar's 1st home run of the year. That's just his 21st at bat on the season. And that one sails into the right field seats to make it 3-0 Texas on the 2nd home run allowed by Corey Kluber, and the 7th he's given up this year.
I'll tell you what, this kid has done something. You know, he led off the game the last 3 games getting on base, making something happen. Here he hits a home run. You add to that lead, makes it a 3-0 game. His 1st home run. So you got Holiday who hit his 2nd. Profar hit his 1st. And that's the difference.
Well, we remember when Profar, burst onto the scene a few years ago, and you thought, wow.
His very first game, he homered in his first at bat, and then doubled in his 2nd one to the left field line.
And I'm not sure what happened, but Rougned Odor just blew right by him.
Well, he had injuries. He was hurt for a while and had surgeries, and then couldn't play for a year.
That's right. He tore up his shoulder.
Yes, he did. And I mean, he was the 2nd baseman of the future. This kid was, I think, 19 when he came up here. He was unbelievable.
In the air, shallow right. Lonnie is in. He'll have an easy play here. And the inning is over. But Jurickson Profar puts one out of here, and it's a 3-0 Rangers lead. Texas with a 3-0 lead, bottom of the 5th. And Marlon Byrd, Lonnie Chisenhall, Yan Gomes due up. Marlon Byrd struck out his only time up in the 2nd inning.
That is now 13 of 15 first pitch strikes for Colby Lewis, and the Indians have had 2 swings on the first pitch, and that was Santana leading off the game, and then Gomes.
2 quick strikes on Byrd. Marlon was 4 for 4 last night, but Colby Lewis has had his number to this point. Tell you one thing, Lewis has picked up right where Derek Holland left off yesterday, taking his Indians offense down a peg or 2. Baseball on FS1, Rays Twins 3:30, Baseball Night in America, Indians Royals at 7 on your local Fox station, or you can watch it live on Fox Sports Go. The Indians came into tonight's game having scored the 2nd most run in the majors in the month of May. But Texas pitching has handcuffed them.
Holland, he was, for whatever reason, he seems to pitch well against the Indians. He came in here and threw the ball well. They scored early for him, and they continued to add on. And a guy here, Colby Lewis, who the Indians have hit well in the past, he has settled in. They have 2 hits. He hasn't walked anybody. He's thrown a lot of strikes. 67 pitches, 44 strikes, and he's been ahead of everybody.
Two balls, 2 strikes. And now the count full. This one didn't miss by a whole bunch.
I know that's it. Looks like a cutter or something, a slider that was right there, but it might have been a little up.
Lonnie drives one to center, but back is Desmond, and right in front of the warning track. 2 down. Let's go down to Andre Knott. Yan Gomes with new vision wear.
Yes, last night you may have picked up one that Yan Gomes is wearing goggles or glasses now. That they're pretty. They look a little Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Now he told me last night and today that he was wearing contacts all season long, and he just never got comfortable with them. He was supposed to get these goggles, glasses around spring training. They finally arrived, and he wanted me to make sure if I brought this up to say he's wearing them has nothing. Him wearing them has nothing to do with his batting average. He was going to wear them regardless. It's just something he wanted to try this year because he wanted to see the ball better.
Well, contacts seem like a great idea because you put them in, boom, you're done. But if you get dirt in them or
if it's windy,
yeah, that can be a real problem.
Yeah, I remember playing with guys that had to wear contacts and they had issues, and they switched and tried glasses, and I was fortunate enough never had to wear them. But whether it's glasses or contact, it's no fun. But you got to see the ball. You want to hit, you have to see. So to say they're not going to, it's not because of his average, I'd put him on and say it was because of my average.
There's a smash to Profar, and another 1, 2, 3 innings. Colby Lewis has retired 8 straight.
Kansas City will continue on Saturday. 12,500 fans will get a 76 throwback jersey. Post-game fireworks will pay tribute to the late David Bowie, Glenn Frey, and Prince. Visit Indians.com for the tickets.
I saw the jerseys. They're sweet.
The blue ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. Very nice.
They've got the 1976 patch on them. The spirit of 76. Prince Fielder 0 for 2 on the night. Down low, ball 1. Fielder fouled out in the first, grounded out in the third. That's a chopper foul, and look out in the seats just beyond the Texas dugout. .57 strikes for Corey Kluber out of his 76 pitches. But he's given up 2 first pitch home runs here tonight, and that has accounted for all the scoring. Just missed there with a good fastball to full count.
Well, he gazed in. I think thinking that he had a strikeout in there. Let's take a look at it. Oh, they're close. He's missed in there a couple of times. If he misses, they look awfully good.
Oh my. Again, just past the Texas dugout. Everybody's checking on the fan there. Mike Napoli, the first base coach for Texas. Everybody's looking over there. Here's the 3-2. Popped out the other way. Eighth pitch of the at bat coming up right here. Struck him out looking. Looked like a cutter.
Yeah, on the outside part coming back. 5 strikeouts now for Kluber. You know, and when you stay in there a couple of times and you see that ball going away, you think there's no way that's going to come back and hit the corner, but it did. That's the cutter in a perfect location, and Fielder knew it.
With 1 out, Adrian Beltre to the plate, 1 for 2 on the night, and he swings over the top of a pretty good off-speed pitch. Again, that could be a cutter.
Yeah,
that he just maybe took
cutter.
A little more something off. I mean, it varies. Sometimes
well, when
it's
you
90,
throw breaking balls,
it's
yeah,
87.
I mean he can throw that cutter harder at times.
Over near the line, Lonnie Chisenhall has room, makes the grab in foul ground, 2 away. Hey, you can stream games live now on your mobile device. Go to the App Store, download the free Fox Sports Go app, log in, and stream the Indians wherever you go. So if you can't be on the couch and sitting down watching the game, you got to be out and about, take it with you. Here's Nomar Mazara, 0 for 2 on the night. He's been chewed up twice by Corey Kluber. First time up, Corey got in on him and broke his bat. He rolled one to first. Next time up, he got so deep in his kitchen that he popped it up to Kluber himself. And as you pointed out, had there been runners first and second, nobody out, that wouldn't even have been an infield fly rule.
No, it would not have been. Hey, but you know what? You don't know. Facing Kluber for the first time, you hear about how good his stuff is. Until you get in that batter's box, you never know. And he's a long, tall guy, 6'4". You know, he can be quick if he knows what's coming. But boy, the cutters, and it takes time to learn. We'll see how he adjusts after that. He got in on his thumbs the last at bat. It was tied him up again.
Fouled that off of his leg. 2-2 the count.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a guy like Corey Kluber getting in your kitchen. He does it a lot to a lot of different hitters. That ball he hit in last night's game, it was a fastball away, boy, and it was right into the swing of that barrel head. There you go.
Yeah. Rung him up looking to end the inning. 6 strikeouts for Corey Kluber. And we'll see if Rajay Davis can ignite the Indians offense when we come back. Indians. Colby Lewis has only given up 2 hits tonight, Rick.
Yeah, and both of them coming in the same inning. You know, just another get me over curveball for a strike one. Yeah, both of those hits are in the 3rd inning. But he's been on cruise control. He makes it look easy. He cuts it. He changes speeds, never gives in, but throws a lot of strikes and keeps the hitters off balance. Not a whole lot of baseballs hit hard today. Like that, off the end of the bat.
Yeah.
Little squibber.
1 away.
You know, we were talking last night about Carlos Santana from the other side of the plate facing Holland, and something did look a little weird to me. Look how far he is off home plate from the right side. He's hitting 100 points less from the right side than he is the left side. You know, he's 151 right-handed. He's 256 left-handed. But not that they use the same stance from each side of the plate, but boy, he looked an awfully long way away from home plate to me, because he's hitting a lot of balls on the ground and topping them. You know, he can't reach him and drive him to right center or do anything, and he used to hit for a better average from that side of the plate. And you talk about consistency for Colby Lewis today. First time through the lineup, 38 pitches. Second time, they were 2 for 9. Second time through, 39 pitches. And they didn't get a hit.
0 for 9.
Yeah.
Well, consistency is the thing that we just haven't seen with Santana. We will see him occasionally stay on a ball and drive it to left center from the side of the plate.
Right.
But more often than not, we see the long swing pulling off the ball.
Well, yeah, he gets pitches to hit. He'll pull off them, or he'll have it to, yeah. He just pulls off a lot of pitches instead of maybe using the big part of the field. He gets his walks and things like that. That's why, you know, he doesn't get into slumps. And speaking of walks, that's the first one for Lewis today right here.
So a 1-out base runner for Jason Kipnis as the Indians try to get something rolling here tonight. It's hard to draw a walk when half your batters have been down 0-2, 1-2, and that was the case coming into this inning. Eight of the 17 coming into this inning had been down either 0-2 or 1-2. Third time through the order, though. We'll see if anything clicks for Cleveland. Lewis just over 80 pitches. There's a strike to even it up.
Again, you know, he had the 1-0 count, throws a changeup, misses with the fastball down, and you know, you never get the same pitch twice from this guy. Now they're coming fastball in. Let's see how he reacts. That was in off the plate, and he swung at it and fouled off his body. If you remember, in the first at bat, Kipnis had him down at 0-2. He was 2-0 count. And then he took a fastball. Here, this fastball way in off the plate, and it looks like it went off his knee.
It sure did.
You know, so he was looking for the fastball, but it was not a strike. But oh, yeah, he did. He sure did. Fouled it right off his knee, and he evens the count.
High and down the line and foul. Into the seats still. Kip will come back and try again with a 2-ball, 2-strike count. It's that time of game where Indians need to try and get something going. Because so far this year, when they have trailed after 6 innings, they've lost 16 out of 17.
I want to see if Terry starts Santana here, thinking Kipnis is going to put it in play and not swing and miss, just to try and get something going, maybe first and third, or just to get something happening.
Runner goes, and a pitch hit up the short. Andrus reached back, made the play, and throws him out 2 away. If he goes another step, that ball's by him.
Well, the reason he didn't, you know what, with the runner going, he broke early. Look, he's breaking, but he's came in his first 2 steps. He didn't break to the bag.
No, he never
That's
did.
exactly what you have to do. You come in to shorten your distance to get to second base, but you don't give up ground. And he was good enough to dive to his right to make that play and still get Kipnis at first base as Santana gets into second. Never gave up ground.
If he does, that's a hit.
Exactly. We saw that on our last road trip where we gave up ground and it was a base hit for a hitter.
Could be a key moment in the ball game as Francisco Lindor steps in, takes the ball downstairs. 1-0. hammered but foul as that ball hops up into the seats. Upstairs, and the count is 2-1.
Well, that's his top fastball at 89. He goes up and in just to brush him back for an effective pitch right there, just trying to get him out of his toe hold.
Action in the Texas bullpen. That is a called strike, but generous at best by Gabe Morales there.
Well, they go away
on the plate.
No, and it might have been a little low. Well, certainly one you're not going to swing at.
Going to go out there again.
Good patience by Lindor. You know, remember, he has first base open. He doesn't have to throw him a strike here. See if he can get him to expand the strike zone.
Low, ball 4. Second walk in the inning, but I agree with you. I just don't think he was going to give in to him as he tried to work around Lindor, maybe get him to chase his pitch. Well, now he'll try to deal with Mike Napoli.
Well, he knows right-hander against right-hander. He would rather face Napoli, I think, than Lindor. At least let him get on the board with first base open in that situation. And it looked that way, and the patience, that's what Lindor is going to have to learn this year, is to be patient. And he's done a great job.
Kind of an odd spot to see Doug Brocail go out. I mean, Doug's got to know that that's what he was.
Oh yeah, he does. I think they're just talking about maybe how to go about Napoli. That's all. Just going back over the scouting report. Maybe the skipper says, hey, go tell him we want to make sure he goes this way.
Napoli grounded out to third base in the second inning. He flied to right in the fourth. Yesterday in the ball game, he hit a home run, and some may have called that a meaningless home run because of the score, but it was certainly far from anything but a meaningless home run. Andre had the story on Indians Live today. We talked to Knapp about that home run he hit after a meeting. A fan who was here with the sign that said, I've got chemo tomorrow, but tonight I just want a Knapp hug and a home run. And he delivered on both.
Well, and now Lewis falls behind Knapp for the first 2 pitches.
Here's a 2-0 pitch. Oh, he had one. He wanted that back again. 2-1. This was the story yesterday, in case you missed it. Woman is a season ticket holder. And this was what he delivered later in that ball game.
Wow. Yeah, that was something special. Let's see if he can do it again here. That would be special, too.
Time call. Chop to third. Beltre backs up, and Buggy whips it across to end the inning. No runs, no hits, but 2 more stranded. And after 6, it's Texas 3, Cleveland nothing. The injury lawyers at Elk & Elk, proud partner of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. And by Ford, built Ford tough. Three 0. Texas leading it. And the Indians just searching for some offense here tonight.
Well, they're searching. They have a few innings to go, but right now Corey Kluber's got to keep it a 3-0 ball game.
Mitch Moreland 1 for 2 on the night, takes outside. And count ball 1. Down in the dirt. Kluber starting this 7th inning. As you see, the pitch count just at 90 pitches. When he goes at least 7 innings, he's done it 6 times this year. He's 4-1 with a 1.76 ERA. He's given up 3 or fewer in all 6. He's right at that 3-run mark here. But usually when he's pitched and he's on the winning side of things, it's because the Indians are scoring some runs.
Get them
they don't need to score a lot.
Runs. No.
But they get them 4.
It's been 2 pitches tonight, really. And first pitches, the home runs. That's how they scored. 2 long balls.
Napoli has a long flip to Kluber, but boy, that was right on the money.
Well, Corey Kluber's had very good stuff again tonight. He's been inside. He's just missed a couple times inside. He's had sliders away, change-ups down. He has 6 strikeouts, hasn't walked anybody. Like we said, there's the best pitch of the night right there. But he's been Corey Kluber. Just a couple of pitches have left the yard, man. You figure you got to score once in a while. So he can't control that. He's controlling, trying to give up no more. Another jam shot.
Lindor from behind the bag throws out Elvis Andrus. And there are 2 away.
Well, you can enjoy Sugardale Dollar Dogs post-game fireworks presented by Wayside Furniture Friday night. The Indians will take on the Royals. They'll be in all weekend long. Plus, fans 21 and over can enjoy $2 Miller Lights in the right field district from 5 to 7. And 10,000 fans will get sunglasses. That'll be courtesy of Subway. Just go visit Indians.com for your tickets.
Going to be a big series, and it all starts Thursday night here at Progressive Field. Royals began the night game and a half ahead of Cleveland in the AL Central in first place. Kansas City picking up momentum, having won 4 in a row. The 0-1 pitch popped up back, and this is playable for Gomes. He's got it. And the Rangers are retired 1-2-3 on 8 pitches. Stretch time in Cleveland. Indians down 3. the bullpen. Colby Lewis, who's done after 6 innings of 2-hit shutout baseball. Walked 2, struck out 2. And he'll give way to Tony Barnett, who has a 2.11 ERA in 21 appearances on the year. He's walked 4, struck out 15.
Yeah, well, he's pitched much better lately to get that ERA from down to 4. He's pitched 9 scoreless innings his last 8 games. 1 earned run in 13 2/3 in his last 14 outings to get that ERA down to in the 2s. But boy, Colby Lewis, look, 6 innings, what a start. Just 2 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts.
This guy's been some kind of a story in terms of perseverance. Tony Barnett was drafted by Arizona in the 10th round of '06. 4 years later, he was released by the Diamondbacks organization after never getting to the big leagues. Then he went to Japan. He pitched 6 seasons in Japan. And there were some really good years and there were some bad years too. I mean, in 2012, he had an ERA of 1.82 in 57 games out of the bullpen. The very next year, that ERA ballooned to over 6.
Second straight pitcher, though, spent time in Japan to come back and sign with the Rangers.
But at 32 years old, he's the 2nd oldest Rangers player in their history to make their major league debut. And a Japanese pitcher back in 2011 who was 35 years old and made his debut. And there's a base hit for Jose Ramirez. And the Indians had their leadoff man aboard for only the 2nd time tonight.
Well, Jose got that breaking ball down and in, and he goes down and hits it, strokes it nicely to right field. I will say this, though, about the Rangers, and you look at their bullpen, there's the nice slow breaking ball, and he just drops the head down in that left-handed hitting area. The bullpen in Colby Lewis's starts has a 7.63, so maybe that's what the Indians need.
Well, we mentioned it before. It's a bullpen that definitely has had its moments this year where it's not been very good. Marlon Byrd 0 for 2 has struck out twice. Inside and fouled back by Byrd. And now the 0-2 pitch. Byrd goes fishing for it, and he strikes out 1 down. It's a crazy game sometimes.
Well, let's go back to that starter, Colby Lewis, sitting there, 36 years old. The fastball, he cuts it, he changes speeds. He's got a good slider and a nice little cutter. Been in and out. They've been rolling over on pitches, and just really haven't. He kept him off the barrel of the bat.
Lonnie Chisenhall 1 for 2. Chisenhall with an absolute moonshot to the bleachers in right field. And the Indians are on the board and down by 1 now on a mammoth 2-run homer here in the 7th inning, his first of the year.
How about that? Guys are hitting him out of the ballpark tonight that normally don't hit him, and Chisenhall gets his first, and it comes at the right time. Another breaking ball here to the left-hander from Barnett, and Chisenhall takes deep. And he didn't get it in. That ball was out a little bit, and he stayed back. Good low ball hitter. There it goes. So that ends Barnett's scoreless string. 9 2/3 with that 2-run homer.
And now Yan Gomes 0 for 2 as the Indians trail it by just a run now. Texas has the bullpen up. I believe that's Diekman who's getting loose now. Indeed it is. He's their 8th inning guy. You know, Rick, it's interesting. Barnett, he's not a native Japanese pitcher, but you can see the Japanese influence from all the years he spent over there with the little hitch in his delivery.
Yeah, the hesitation. He's throwing a lot of breaking balls, a lot of sliders. Both the left-handers, Ramirez, Chisenhall, hit the breaking ball.
A little bit low. 3 balls and a strike. And now a full count. Payoff pitch. Low and away, ball 4. And so Tony Barnett has given up 2 hits, a walk, 2 runs are in. Tying run is aboard, and now Rajay Davis to the plate. Here comes the pitching coach, Doug Brocail. This will probably be the last hitter he faces regardless, with the left-hander Diekman up and ready in the bullpen, even though he's their 8th inning guy. When we roll this over to the top of the order, I would imagine they'll want him to come on.
Yeah, they'll flip Santana over, or, you know, to the right side of the plate.
Yeah,
absolutely. And that's only the 7th walk for Yan Gomes this year, so he gets on the base.
Rajay tonight singled to left back in the 3rd inning and grounded out his last time up. Right back off the mask of catcher Ryan Holiday. Rajay in the hole, 0-2.
Change the eye level. Tried to throw that fastball high to see if he could get him to chase it. I think he wants to get him out with the breaking ball.
Slow hook up high. 2-2. Human instinct is to get out of the way when something's coming at you, but there's probably a counter instinct that says, oh, lean into it and get hit. Take one for the team.
Well, no, you get out of the way. Not many guys will take it.
Down low, he's able to check in a full count. So good at bat here for Rajai Davis. And after getting down in the hole 0-2, he's battled it back. He's remained patient. And now Yan Gomes will get a head start on this 3-2 offering with Carlos Santana waiting on deck. There goes the runner. A slow chopper. And the inning is over. So the double play ball thwarts the rally, but Lonnie Chisenhall gets the Indians on the board with a 2-run jack. It's a 1-run game after 7. Is presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. Well, the Indians find themselves now down by just a run. And Corey Kluber back out here to pitch the 8th inning.
Oh yeah, that's his inning. They finally got him a couple of runs now. He's got 3 more outs to get. He'll get another chance. He deserves to stay in the game. Giving up only 5 hits in this ball game.
He's retired the last 7 in a row after the home run to Profar in the 5th inning. And he's the on deck hitter. Ryan Holiday takes the first pitch strike.
Both those home runs came on first pitches, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Yeah. Well, they jumped him. They took advantage of the fastball.
Tommy says they're the first home runs allowed on the first pitch from Kluber this year.
Is that right? Okay. Both of them in one game. Go figure. Well, you know, this is a team though they don't face Kluber. They don't have a big history against Corey. This is only his 3rd start in his career, so you got to go back to I think 14 since the last time he pitched against him. So, you know, if I'm a hitter and I'm facing him, I'd get after his first fastball I see early too. Woo.
I have no idea what was wrong with that pitch. 3-1. Guy's been around the plate all game long. He's thrown 71 out of 99 for strikes. Now a full count.
Well, there you go. 72% strikes tonight, and 20 of the 28 balls. Well, there might have been 10 of those that were right there. Could have been either way. They could have been strikes.
Broke his bat, and that's a base hit. Bird over toward the line to cut it off. And Holiday holds with a broken bat leadoff single. Yellowwood bringing the lumber. The home runs for Texas. That was the Holiday 2-run shot in the third. It happened quick. Base hit by Hoyt. First pitch, Holiday, bang. Then in the fifth inning, after there were 2 outs, first pitch to Jurickson Profar, and he hits one out for his first home run of the year.
That might even been a changeup, because that ball looked like it was moving away from Profar.
Just the 21st at bat of the year for Profar to get his first home run. Taking a called strike. Brian Shaw getting loose in the Cleveland bullpen. Another ball not hit very hard, but perfectly placed. Nice effort by Bird, but he just couldn't get to it. So a couple of absolute bleeders drop in for the Rangers, and now Kluber's in a jam.
Well, you can't do anything about that pitch right there. I mean, it was blooped. He put the ball in play. You give credit to the hitter for putting it in play. It was upstairs, if anything. And then Bird coming in, he makes a nice attempt. He just did not get there. That ball went off the leather. He was about 2 inches away from that going right into the glove and staying. I mean, that's too close. Not much you can do. So they will have runners on first and second, and you're coming through the heart of the lineup. So he's got his work cut out for him. He needs a 2-for-1 ball is what he needs.
Ian Desmond 0 for 3. But absolutely dangerous. Drilled deep right. Back is Chisenhall. He won't get it off the wall. Coming around third. Holiday scores. Here comes Profar. It's a 2-run double for Ian Desmond. And just like that, the Rangers get the runs back, and they're up by 3 again. 5-2 as Ian Desmond gets his 14th double of the year. RBIs number 31 and 32.
And I'll tell you, Desmond doesn't wait around. He gets after it, and he drove that ball to right field. I mean, over the head. It goes off the wall and past Chisenhall. Boy, Desmond can swing the bat. Very aggressive. And right after the Indians bring themselves back into the game, Texas comes right back and responds with 2 more, and it'll knock Kluber right out of the ball game. 4 hits. 5 hits going into this inning, and then 3 consecutive here.
So Corey Kluber leaves, and Brian Shaw is coming on when we return to Cleveland right after this. Pitcher, he'll be facing Prince Fielder. This is astounding to me. Texas has put 3 first pitches in play tonight. 3. And they've driven in all 5 of their runs.
Yeah, how about that?
Isn't that amazing?
Well, I don't know if that was their game plan to attack when they came in, especially maybe when they get runners on base. I don't know. It is amazing, though. The first 2 times this year, he's given up home runs on first pitches. I will say this, though. Corey Kluber's had 9 opportunities of shutdown innings, and he's given up 7 runs, and these are 2 after the Indians just got on the board.
The 2-run homer by Holiday came on a first pitch. The solo homer by Profar on a first pitch, and the 2-run double by Desmond here in the 8th, also on a first pitch. Three for 6 on the night for Texas when they've swung at the first pitch, or at least when they put it in play. But here's the other thing too, and I think we all get it when you look at the numbers, the stats, however you want to put it. The story says the Indians scored 2 runs and Corey Kluber went back out the next inning and gave up those 2 runs. The reality is a broken bat falls in, another blooper falls in, and he gives up 1 hard hit ball and 2 runs end up scoring. I mean, that's the breaks of the game sometimes, but it's not
look
like
at
he
it
went
this
out
way.
there
Let
and
me ask you
caved
this.
in.
No, he didn't cave in. He came up, and we felt that going out there in that inning, he'd only given up 5 hits. But, you know, I don't know. In a tie game, would you have brought him out in a tie game, or do you leave him out there in a 1-run game when he's down so he has a chance maybe for a win, or do you go to your bullpen?
That's, to me, the great question, and the infield's brought in here. Because you made the point, and it's a long-standing baseball axiom. He's earned the right to stay out there. He's done his job. He's earned the right to stay out there and maybe get the victory. Is he the best guy in that situation? That's what it always comes down to, I think, if you're the manager.
If you ask, I say yes, he is. Instead of going to your pen right there. You cannot continue to bring Shaw and Allen in and when you're down, in games that you're down. And right now, I think Tito trusted Corey Kluber more than he trusted anybody else in that bullpen. And I have no problem with that. I would too. He had retired 7 straight. You know what? I'm not saying. I'm just saying he let them. They responded. So you tip your cap. Whether they're off the end of the bat, they're broken bat base hits. They got on base. That's their job to do as hitters. His job is to get outs. But I agree with it. I don't have a problem with it. Bing, bing, bing. There you go. They got their 2 runs. There's nothing you can do about it now.
If he goes to the bullpen and the bullpen gives up these runs, then everybody's screaming, why didn't you just leave Kluber in?
Right. You can't win. But you know what? I like the thought process. Who else am I going to bring in? I have no problem leaving Kluber in.
Hit hard to center. Davis back. He won't get it. That ball's hammered all the way to the center field wall, and scoring is Desmond. Beltre with an RBI double, and it's a 3-run 8th for Texas as they've opened up a 6-2 lead.
And that run will be charged to Kluber. So close the book on him. And Beltre drives this ball straight away center field. That is his 12th double. That is his 35th RBI. And they have 6 runs on the board.
3-0 the count on Nomar Mazara with first base open, obviously, here. And a 3-1 pitch. There's a strike. And you know, you go back over the last 4 games, and the Indians bullpen has given up 8 runs, and it's just you give up a couple of runs on a nightly basis late in the game. It turns maybe a close game that you're coming from behind into a almost an impossible come from behind scenario, or you turn a lead into a.
We talked about deficit. 7th inning on, you know, with the clubs that were in town. Baltimore was in. They scored late in the game. They don't give up many runs. The Indians have had problems in the 7th inning on being outscored. And that's part of the game that I mean, you can take control of. If you score late in the game and you take the lead, that's when you have to hold. And if you're certainly losing, you have to.
That hit the bag. Lindor stayed with it, throws him out.
Looked like it had spin to it also.
Fantastic job by Lindor. I think it hit the bag. Either that or it just took some crazy spin when it hit the dirt. Take another look.
It was close.
No, it just hit the dirt and kicked the other way. But he stayed with it and throws out Mazara.
Yeah, when you look at the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings, the Indians have been outscored by 8 from their opposition in the 7th. They have outscored their opponents by 3 in the 8th, and they're down by 2 in the 9th. So it's not as bad as I thought, but those are the important innings.
That's the whole season. But here lately, I'm detecting a trend that you don't like.
Well, that's true.
know?
Recently, yes, we come home on this homestand. It's been much different. You're right.
I mean, you go 6-3 on a road trip to definitely test you. And now they've dropped 3 out of 4 on the way to going 4 out of 5.
But the funny thing is, this is where they were scoring before. You know, when we were coming home, you're thinking, okay, good, because they played well in their own ballpark. They've averaged over 5 runs a ball game. They've been behind though in what, 3 out of 4. This could be 4 out of 5.
Last year, it seemed like just a simple formula of scoring first. If they scored first, they were on the right side of things usually. This year, it's not just scoring first, but scoring early. In that first 3 innings, when they get the offense going and they have the early lead, they're usually winning baseball games. When that is flipped the other way, they haven't been able to come from behind. They were down 2-0 after 3 innings this evening, and while they did come back to make it a 3-2 ball game, Texas has blown it open with 3 here in the 8th. They're not done with 2 outs and Mitch Moreland at the plate. First place Kansas City just underway at home as they're hosting Tampa Bay tonight.
On the homestand, Matt, 7, 8, and 9 in the innings. The Indians have been outscored 10-5.
Here's a 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Shaw strikes him out to end the inning. But the Texas Rangers respond in the 8th. They score 3 and lead it 6-2. Indians bats come to life here in the bottom of the 8th. It'll be the top of the order, 2 up for Cleveland as we revisit the keys to the game, brought to you by Mazda. Now, Corey Kluber was really good early, and they got him in the 8th inning. A couple of bloops and one well-hit ball. And the Indians just didn't generate anything against Colby Lewis.
No, he's looking to go to 5-0 for the first time in his career.
They had base runners in 2 of 6 innings. And only 2 hits in 6 innings total. So Jake Diekman is the left-hander. He's the 8th inning setup guy. Diekman has not allowed a run over his last 7 games. This is another one of those stats where you wonder, is he pitched different when he's got the lead? But when he's out there and Texas is in front, opposing hitters are 4 for 49 against him. And of those 49 at bats, 20 strikeouts. Santana says the heck with that. Base hit, left field. Indians leadoff man aboard.
They hit that fastball hard. It got past Andrus in a hurry.
Still looks like he's more farther from the plate on that right side.
I know it does, but
weird.
He got a fastball to his liking there and gets a base hit.
And here's Jason Kipnis now, the lefty-lefty matchup. He's 0 for 3 on the night. Jason says, wait a minute, that ball was inside. All to strike though, and it's 0-1. In the dirt. Bouncing ball to first. Moreland is second for one. Back to first. Double play.
Boy, they turned 4 double plays last night. That's their second tonight and 73rd on the year, which is by far and away more than anybody in the American League. And that's just what they were looking for. And it's a one-hopper to Moreland. He'll take it, throw it to second, and the return throw, he only had to take a couple of steps back, and they get the double play ball.
Outside corner, a called strike. Jake Diekman's one of those great stories. He grew up in a town so small in Nebraska that his high school didn't even have a baseball team. He only played for the Legion team in the summer. It was comprised of 4 different communities. But eventually he got himself to a community college in Kansas, Cloud State Community College, and he pitched so well there that he was going to the University of Nebraska. But instead the Phillies picked him in the 30th round, and he said, I'll take it. You know, who can blame him? And as they say, the rest is history.
Well, you say, hey, I'll take it. We were talking, it had to be about 4 or 5 days ago, and the guy was like the 7th pick. Well, that's over with. Never mind.
Diekman disposes of the Indians and will go to the 9th, 6-2 Texas.
Rangers 6-2 leaders over the Tribe back here in the corner along with Jensen Lewis, Al Pulowski. And well, Jensen, tonight pitching struggled a little bit overall. Hitting struggled a little bit for the Tribe, and the Rangers have a 4-run advantage.
Seems like this homestand, it's been a common theme that the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning has been the undoing for the Indians now, albeit they've had to come back in a lot of these games from early deficits. So, you know, I don't think you just put the blame squarely on the bullpen, and starters got to take a little blame as well.
All right, make sure you join us for Indians Live coming up right after this one. It's brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. Upstairs we go to Matt and Rick for the 9th. Fellas?
Well, I think as is usually the case, there's blame to go around the room right now for this ball club. It's not just the starters. It's not just the bullpen. The offense really hasn't pulled its share of the load either.
No blame,
Defensively,
man.
last night they were not very good.
It's done as a team. You do it as a team. You win as a team. You lose as a team. No individuals.
And that's the crazy thing. I tried to make this point a few innings ago, but we were in the middle of other things. But this game is so confounding because just when you think you have momentum or you're seeing momentum, poof,
it can disappear. Yes, it can.
I said the Indians were 6-3 on that road trip. They'd come home, you think, okay, they're rolling, they're back at home where they played well, and all that momentum, I don't know where it went, but it's not here anymore. Marlon Byrd's a great example. Last night, he hit everything in sight. He's 4 for 4. Line drives. And tonight he's 0 for 3, and I think he struck out all 3 times.
Yeah.
So it's just, I mean, this is a crazy game to figure out sometimes.
Well, that's the best thing about this game. There's always tomorrow. You come back, whether it's good or bad, you just try to be consistent.
It's also why our jobs is to dissect it, look at it. You know, and Alan Jensen will go over it with a fine-tooth comb after the ball game. That's their job. But for the players, Rick, and when you were in that situation, when the game's over, you put it away pretty fast. You don't dwell on it. You don't really think about it much.
You talk about it. You'll discuss it. You'll talk situations and things you could have done to maybe improve and do things a little bit better, or situations. But you have to put it behind you. When you walk out of the clubhouse, you should, you know, it's not like you're not going to think about it after that.
Elvis Andrus with a base hit here in the 9th inning.
Well, he had to get that one for him to keep this streak going. What's it, 29 out of 30 now?
There's Jared Hoying. 1 for 3. Singled and scored back in the 3rd inning. Ball off the foot of Jared Hoying. He was going to need a minute to let that one soothe itself. Hoying went to Fort Laramie High School, as we pointed out earlier, and that's down there in that western portion of Ohio. There are so many good high school programs in that part of the state. And Andre and I have been down to the state championship games for a number of years for Sports Time Ohio and our coverage down there. And that Midwest Athletic Conference usually has 2, 3 teams competing for state titles every single year. Now, as I said, Laramie's not in that conference, but I'm sure they're well familiar with the schools like Minster and Coldwater and St. Henry. Fort Recovery, they were in a state championship this year. Maria Stein, Versailles, Delphus. It's a really, though, neat part of the state. It's almost right over there on the Indiana border. Jared Hoying awaiting the 0-1 pitch. Runner goes. Andrus breaks for second. Gomes throw. And safe is the call.
Not a bad throw by Gomes. He got his hand in there. Armstrong took a little bit. Looked like he was about 1-3 delivering the baseball. Maybe a little slower. It's a pitch that Gomes comes up. Makes a good throw. Right on the money. And boy, that was awfully close. He gets his hand right in, but by the time Lindor could come, you see he's on the bag and he hits that elbow. Good throw.
Now the 1-1. Hit by Anderson and squibs right through into center field. Around third, coming home to score is Elvis Andrus. And now it's 7-2 Texas.
Looked like a little breaking ball here from Armstrong. He hits it right back up the middle, and the stolen base pays off. Andrus comes in to score. Hoying gets his very first RBI of the year. Only has about, what, 11 at bats, 12.
Brian Holiday, the batter. And he takes a strike. Sean Armstrong is a former 18th round pick. and selected him out of East Carolina University in 2011. Curveball popped back out of play. Armstrong delivers the 0-2 pitch a little bit low. Brian Holiday got the Rangers on the board first back in the third inning with a 2-run homer, and they have never trailed. Hits it high to center field. Rajay Davis puts it away for the first out of the inning.
At the plate, for Texas, second baseman Derek center profile.
Neil Walker had a 2-run homer for the Mets tonight against the White Sox. Todd Frazier has countered with a 2-run homer himself, but New York leads Chicago 4-2 in the 6th inning at Citi Field. Runner goes, and the ball's popped up. Jose Ramirez
Double play.
Grab it, throw to first, inning over. But the Rangers tack on yet another, and they lead it 7-2. Desmond knocking Corey Kluber out of the game with a 2-run double in the 8th. It went from a 3-2 Texas lead to a 5-2 Rangers lead.
Yeah, they were able to add on. So
here in the 9th, Matt Bush will come on for Texas. This guy has an unbelievable arm. Get it up there at 98 miles an hour, a 90+ mile an hour slider. But off the field issues derailed his career early on, and you wondered if you'd ever see this guy maybe fulfill the potential that he certainly had. He was out of the game for a while early in his career, and then spent time in prison, getting a second opportunity, second, third, I don't know how, whatever you want to, however you want to term it. He was involved in a moving violation of swing and a miss back in 2012 that resulted in a fatality, and that's what landed him in prison. But the 0-2 pitch has popped up. This past December, it had been 4 years since Matt Bush had played in a professional baseball game. And Texas signed him to a minor league deal. They didn't invite him to big league camp. But after 51 months of incarceration, he was back in the game. And a roller to third, Beltre throws out Napoli, one away. It's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Lonnie Chisnall's first home run of the year got the Indians back in the ball game. Two-run shot made it a one-run game. It was 3-2 at that time, and you thought maybe that was the jolt they needed, but that was all they got tonight.
Well, Texas had an answer. They had an answer for him the next inning, so it took all the momentum away.
Chopper up the middle, and it's through, and Jose Ramirez has a one-out single in the ninth for Cleveland.
Well, he just tops that one. It almost looked like it went off home plate, right back up the middle, and by the time Profar could get over on the backhanded side, he wasn't going to go throw Ramirez out anyway. Gets off his glove into center field, base hit. Ramirez has 2 knocks.
Well, let's see if Marlon Byrd can salvage something out of this night. Swing and a miss. I mean, last night, everything he hit was hard. 4 for 4, double, homer, couple of singles. One day later, he has punched out all 3 times. But he's got an opportunity to leave on a good note for himself. And he will. Base hit in the left field. Jose Ramirez stops at second base. So back-to-back singles here in the ninth. Off the hard-throwing Matt Bush.
Comes Brocail now. Quick visit to the mound.
The Texas closer is out, actually getting loose now.
Yeah.
Sam Dyson.
Well, that's what they're doing, and this is really just getting them up. I don't know, just to make sure don't let it get out of control.
Yonny Chisello lines one right back through the box. Jose Ramirez coming around third. He will score. And it's a 7-3 ball game on 3 consecutive singles here in the 9th.
Well, that ball hammered straight back up the middle for a base hit for Chisello. He's having a night. 3 for 4. That's his 3rd RBI. And they keep it rolling.
So now the tying run moves to the on-deck circle as Yan Gomes comes to the plate, and Jeff Bannister slowly making his way out of the Texas dugout. And I mean, he is almost crawling.
No kidding. Looks like he's got a bad back.
Well, he just made the wave to the bullpen, though, so it will be time for the Texas closer. Sam Dyson will come on as the Indians batter Matt Bush for 3 hits. They score a run. There are 2 aboard with 1 out of the 9th, and the Indians down 7-3. Trail at 7-3. But the tying run is in the on-deck circle, which now makes this a save situation for Sam Dyson. He's coming on for the 27th time this year. Dyson didn't start the year as the Texas closer. That was Sean Tollison, who has 11 saves. But he lost his role back on May the 18th, so it's not even been a full month for Dyson in the closer's role. And the reason Tyson fell out of favor is that in his last out innings beginning on May the 3rd, 6 innings pitched, 12 earned runs.
Oh, goodness. Well, right-handers hitting .213. They're 13 for 61 off him. Right now, you just want to keep it rolling. You get a man on, and then the tying run comes to the plate.
Yeah, Dyson's only had the 3 save chances since being named the closer on the 18th of May. So we shall see.
Sick.
High and slicing foul down the right field line. Gomes down 0-2. Offering now is fall right back. Jose Ramirez with a one-out single. Marlon Byrd followed with a base hit. Chisenhall a single to drive in a run. Now the 0-2 to Gomes. Broken bat bouncer to first. Moreland to second. There's one. No play at first. And so Indians at the corners with 2 down. And so there is still a chance for the Tribe here in the ninth. But Rajai Davis will have to try to keep the inning alive. And should he do that, Carlos Santana would be next. Going after that first pitch, fouls it off.
He can get it up there. It looks like the two seamers that have movement. It's 97, 98 miles an hour.
Doesn't seem to be any shortage of guys who can throw upper 90s these days, is it?
Ah, man, it's no. You see it every night.
Every team's got at least a couple of guys that throw that hard. And then he goes 91 with you.
Had to be a changeup.
Watch the movement on
I mean, it's
too.
down. That's the thing. After throwing that 98 upstairs, belt high or above, you come back with that one.
And now the 0-2 pitch. And that's the ball game. Sam Dyson slams the door shut for Texas, and they've taken the first 2 in the series and a chance to sweep tomorrow night as they win it by a final score of 7-3. Indians tried to fight back here, stringing together 3 consecutive hits in the inning, but they get a run closer and leave 2 stranded. And so the winning pitcher tonight is Colby Lewis, as he'll go to 5-0 on the year. And Sam Dyson will pick up his 6th save. Losing pitcher Corey Kluber, he's 4-6. With the win, Texas is now a season best 10 games over 500 at 31-21. The Indians fall back to just 2 above the break-even mark at 26-24.
Yeah, they're going to have to find a way to salvage the game, because you know they had 16 and 12. They're now 16 and 13 in the month of May. You turn the page. That's a new month, starting with June. Texas ended up winning their 17th game in the month of May. They were 17 and 11. So you got to try to salvage that final game of the series and get ready for a big series, a 4-game series over the weekend. So, and they got their work cut out for them. Cole Hamels is going up against Trevor Bauer tomorrow.
Well, it's too bad, because May was really their month.
Right,
they were playing really good baseball. And
exactly right.
you just hope, Rick, that this is a short-term bump in the road and not a slide that they can't recover from.
They got to come back, and you know what? I want to. Tomorrow's very important to jump out early if they can. You know, so you don't fall behind that game. The way Texas has been swinging the bats in the first 2 games, they're swinging it pretty well.
All right, it's our last 6 p.m. start. Tomorrow night, Indians, Rangers wrap up the series. We'll have it for you right here on Sports Time Ohio. For Rick Manning and Andre Knott, I'm Matt Underwood. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for Indians Live with Alan Jensen. It's coming up next.